Hey, my brothers, are you kidding me? This does not suck buttermilk, right?
Ron Wolfley.
Hey, I was a wedge buster. How are you?
Luke Lipinski.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show.
It's Wolf and Luke.
Live from the Arizona Sports Studios.
What's going on, Luke? How you doing, bro?
Oh, just everything. How you doing, Wolf?
Yeah, more of the same. Here we go. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
It just feels like now at any second anything could happen with the Phoenix Suns. It is the Wolf and Luke show on a Wednesday morning. They play tonight. We'll get to that at some point.
Yes.
There's a lot of other stuff to get to. K-Ray's going to join us in about a half hour. He'll talk Suns Thunder tonight.
And Kevin Ray, yes.
Okay, Kevin Ray. Gambo's going to join us at 11:30.
Johnny.
Obviously, he's been on top of everything that either is about to happen or might happen with the Phoenix Suns. We're going to do a listeners-only meeting at 11 to get your thoughts on how you would feel if Kevin Durant got traded. So let's start there, Wolf. I know we talked about this a little bit yesterday. I know it's kind of been out there in the ether for a couple days, but I think it's ramped up now pretty considerably.
You know, I was thinking about this, Luke, as we were sitting in prehab, of course. And I was thinking to myself, in the office space, and Onions, we have this broadcast office. Some of the show hosts actually go into this office. I won't describe it. I won't get into the personals of it all. But I will tell you right now.
There was some Metallica
as
playing
I was
today.
sitting, there was a little. There's no doubt about that. And at the same time, a little rooster as well.
Sure, there was.
That was interesting. But to me, I'm thinking to myself, what is your only guarantee? Because all I could think of is Brian Windhorst, of course. And Brian Windhorst came out and said, the only thing guaranteed is the fact that Devin Booker was going to be a Sun. Is that not what he said?
Yeah, here, let me just fire off some Windhorst audio to really set the tone for today.
Thank you.
They are at the end here. The deadline is here. They have no Brad Beal trade. They are 25-24. They have a very aggressive owner, okay? And so now they are examining, this team isn't working. We can't trade Beal. What are we going to do? Durant has 1 year on his contract. So they have now begun entertaining, should we trade Kevin Durant? And they have begun those discussions across the league.
See, my only guarantee is that Kevin Durant is gone. That is where I'm sitting right now. This is the way I'm walking around thinking. I do not expect Kevin Durant to play another game for the Phoenix Suns. And I don't know if I'm okay with that right now.
I tell you,
I'm having a hard time. I really am.
Here's more Windhorst.
Now we have the Warriors and Suns discussing the possibility of bringing Kevin Durant back, okay? I am not going to sit here and even begin to project or guess as to how this may go down. Is it possible that Kevin Durant could be traded to the Warriors? Yes. Will it happen? I'm not afraid to say I don't know. This is potentially a 3, 4, 5-team transaction. It could involve like a dozen other players because that's the nature of the way NBA trades. It could involve Jimmy Butler because it is possible, guys, that the Suns can acquire Jimmy Butler, but not for Brad Beal, but for Kevin Durant. And so that after a month of trying to pair them together, they could end up in an elaborate way being traded for each other. But I got to tell you, as you can hear as I describe this, it sounds complicated. It is. So I do not want to imply that anything's going to happen. And I have no idea how you go back on this if it doesn't work, because now the world does know that the Warriors are trying to get KD back and repair him with Steph Curry.
That was from this morning, was it not, Mel?
Yeah.
That was from this morning right now. Yeah. The only guarantee was there. Devin Booker is going to be a Phoenix. All right.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the positive category.
You know what, honestly, stand and applaud, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put that in the positive, as Luke said, right there. But, oh, my goodness, this is not going to work. And the reason why I totally believe this report and the fact that the Warriors and Suns are really talking about this is because of the fact that it's not working with Kevin Durant. It is not working with KD. And I've had to come. We are the Wu Fang Clan and the Wolfley compound. We've had to come to grips with the fact that it is not working with Kevin Durant here. And they can't move Bradley Beal.
Yeah, I have this feeling. I don't know. The one thing that I don't want, and I said this yesterday, and it's seemingly more likely by the second, is what Brian Windhorst just said. I don't want to trade Kevin Durant and get Jimmy Butler. I don't know how that helps this team in any significant way. If you're going to trade Kevin Durant, which I don't want to do, I don't think Booker or Durant are the problem, but I hear what you're saying, and I'm sure Matt Ishbia is thinking similarly, like this isn't working. If I'm going to trade Kevin Durant, which I can't even believe I'm saying, I want young players and a lot of picks back. Because to me, at that point, you're blowing it up and trying to rebuild around Devin Booker. And Bradley Beal's here because he's not leaving. If I trade Kevin Durant for Jimmy Butler, I'm in the exact same position, except with a guy who might quit on his team at any moment.
What if you got draft capital? What if you got something back as well? Because there's going to be like 5 teams involved in the trade.
I would assume that's what they're trying to work out, right? At this point. I mean, Miami wants to move Butler. Golden State wants Durant. And everybody knows the Suns are desperate. So I'm worried that Golden State's going to take advantage of the Suns' desperation.
Yeah, and again, you have to ask yourself why. Why do you feel so sure that KD is gone? And, why? Why would you do that? Why would you ever trade one of the best scorers of the basketball universe has ever seen? Or ever known, for that matter. Why would you do it? I understand the question. You have to. And you know why, Basinonians? Because culture and leadership is real. It is. And anybody that's ever played the game at a high level knows it. Isn't that right, James Jones?
But isn't that a trade you make in the offseason?
Well, why? If it's not working and you know it's not working, why?
Is there any chance? I mean, I guess this is the question. If you think there's any chance that bringing in Jimmy Butler this late in the season can suddenly spark you to win a title. If you feel convicted that jolt will get this team going and they'll be able to navigate the Western Conference, if you feel convicted that that's the move and you'll win a title this year, then, I mean, I understand the logic at least.
No, I love it, though. I love your question because it's valid. At the same time, ask yourself, are they winning a championship with this team?
No, but I don't want to hastily make a move where everybody knows you're desperate. And I just, like I said, I just feel like Golden State's like, all of a sudden Golden State comes slipping in at the last second. And, Steph's out there. We're not going to mortgage the future. A couple weeks ago, Golden State, they're just, forget about them. And then at the last second, Golden State's like, hey, the Suns are desperate. They're calling everybody all the time. We can take advantage of them and get Kevin Durant for pennies on the dollar.
Sure. Yet at the same time, you don't have to be desperate. It may look that way, but you don't have to.
But that's what I'm saying. And you don't, and especially in the offseason, if you play this out and it doesn't work and you're like, hey, we gotta do something, then I really do think you trade Durant for a bunch of picks and young players. Like a bunch. Like look at what Brooklyn got from the Suns for Durant. That was 2 years ago. That wasn't 10 years ago. You should be able to get something real similar.
Yeah, that would be really, really cool right there. You know what also would be cool? What if Jimmy Butler, what if you went ahead, you realize you got 1 year with KD, Jimmy Butler's got this option year as well. He can pick up player option, right? He can do that as well. What if you said, you know what, tough guy, why don't you come in here and prove it?
To Butler?
Yeah. Why don't you come in here to prove it? These are the conditions that we're talking about right now. Would you be open to that? If suddenly you brought Jimmy Butler in, and you had to move KD, and I realize you're giving up KD, but I'm also expecting the fact that you would get some draft capital with that as well. Maybe that's an assumption I shouldn't make.
If you're getting a good amount of draft capital, I don't hate what you just said of make Jimmy Butler prove it. Because
come in here.
If you throw all the money at him, you're in the exact same position you were this year, next year, with a lesser player.
You can't do that. You can't do that. But you know what?
But they might do that.
I know, but you are a prove-it guy. Are you not, Jimmy Butler? You're a prove-it guy.
And he's got something to prove, I would say, at this point.
Why don't you come in here and do that, bro?
After the last 2 months, I feel like he has something to prove. All right, when we come back, have the Big Three played their final game together with the Phoenix Suns? It's very possible that they won't even play together tonight. It's Wolf and Luke in Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The NBA trade deadline is officially at 12:59 p.m. tomorrow, but NBA GMs turned in their assignments way early, and it's already been bonkers. Luka the Laker, AD the Mav, De'Aaron Fox the Spurs, Zach LaVine the King. Will the Suns pick up a new starter? Will the Valley say adios to someone already here? Arizona Sports has breaking Suns and NBA news as the trade deadline approaches, and after losing a wacky one in OT at Portland, we have our Suns at the Thunder tonight. 6:30 pregame, 7:30 tip on the home of the Suns, right here. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Basinonians. Ron Wolfley here from my brothers over at Trajan Wealth. Go to TrajanWealth.com for more information. 480-990-3300. Listen, Trajan Wealth's core philosophies include low expenses, manager tenure, and tax efficiency as well. These are just a few key qualities that differentiate a Trajan Wealth portfolio from competitors. Call Trajan Wealth today to schedule a complimentary introductory meeting to learn a little bit more. 480-990-3300. Would you like a little peace of mind with your investment portfolio? How about starting how about a 401k, or maybe getting a second opinion on that 401k? Give my friends at Trajan Wealth a call today to schedule a complimentary introductory meeting to learn a little bit more. 480-990-3300 for Trajan Wealth. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Hey, it's Gambo. You all know that Christian Brothers is your go-to company for all AC and plumbing needs. But did you also know they can help with any electrical issues you may have at your home? Christian Brothers offers an electrical safety inspection for just $69. This includes a panel inspection, testing all the breakers, tightening down all the wires, and much, much more. Mention me, Gambo, to get the $69 special for your electrical inspection. Call Christian Brothers at 602-222-3535. That's 602-222-3535, or online at cbrothers.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare. Wow.
With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hi, Dieter Dan here with Wayne from AMCO.
Hey, Dan. So we're into the new year. W-2s are coming out, and it's tax time. Soon we'll be getting our tax return checks.
Oh, I know what I'm going to spend mine on this year.
Yeah?
New traffic jammies.
Perfect. Hey, don't forget about your car. You know, getting your taxes done can be complicated, but where to take your car when it needs repairs isn't. That's us at AMCO.
Wayne, I know, but it can take up to like 8 weeks or more to get your tax check. If you need car repairs, should you just wait until you get the check?
No, Dan, don't wait. Now's the best time of year to get all the things done that you've been meaning or wanting to get repaired on your car.
Ah, so tax time is the best time.
It sure is. And remember, AMCO has the Fix It Fast, Pay It Slow plan all year long. But at tax time, it really works good. You can get your car, truck, RV, hot rod, whatever you drive, all fixed up and drive away. And then pay for it when your tax check comes in.
Wayne, that's awesome.
I'll say we're AMCO.
Google AMCO for your nearest location. That's AMCO, AA, MCO, transmissions, and a whole lot more.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and my friends at Turf Monsters are a leading installer of artificial turf in the valley, which means they can give you a beautiful sparkling lawn without the seeding, the mowing, or the water bills. And their turf cleaning service removes debris, dog hair, and pet urine. This service extends the lifespan of your turf, and all their cleaning products are kid and pet friendly. Learn more by calling 623-323-3900 for my friends at Turf Monsters.
Hey, it's Gambo. Who will still be on the Suns when they come back home on Friday? We'll discuss and preview tonight's game against OKC starting at 2 on Arizona Sports.
All right, this could get crazy at any moment.
Why do you say that?
Well, because this music's about to get crazy.
Oh.
And this trade deadline's hanging in the air now.
Okay.
And the whole Luka thing over the weekend showed us we get about 3 seconds notice.
Everybody.
All right, this is where we are now, Wolf. The Suns have a game tonight. Kevin Ray's going to join us in 15 minutes to talk about that game.
Okay, Ray loves that song, by the way.
Now, does he really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Now,
Totally.
Nationally televised tonight against Oklahoma City. Everybody look at the Suns right now, as Kevin Durant probably won't play, is doubtful.
Yeah. That's the official tag that is out right now.
Yes.
It's not questionable. It's doubtful.
It says doubtful.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm sure that it is doubtful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thinking it's very
Hey,
unlikely.
KD, you know what, man? You got a little puff in that ankle right
So
there,
we
don't
figure
you?
out what's going on here.
Yeah,
Maybe
you got
just,
a little puff. You need to sit down, if you know what I mean, right there.
I hate
This
all
is
of
not-
this, man. I
this
hate
is-
it so much. I hate all of this. I hate it so
you
much.
can't even talk about it, right? You can't. They're getting ready to play OKC, and coming in yesterday, I was thinking to myself, boy, what would be a good topic? Oh, you know what would be really cool? What are your expectations for the Phoenix Suns playing on the road against the OKC Thunder? Would a win against the Thunder change what the Suns might do at the trade deadline?
I think Durant would have to play, and they'd have to win. And even then, I think... Look,
to me, I don't think any of that applies.
They'd have to, no, you're right. Nothing does. 'cause
Even if
the
they go
deadline's
out
tomorrow.
and beat one of the best teams in the association.
I think the only way they could change anything at this point is if they rattle off about 8 or 9 straight wins, which I'm pretty sure they can't do before tomorrow.
That's right.
So it's going to be...
The hay is in the barn.
I have all the stuff I almost keep saying. I'm trying to just formulate my thoughts. I just keep coming back to the fact that I don't want them trading Kevin Durant and getting Jimmy Butler back. And I certainly don't want them getting Draymond Green back. We'll get to that later on. Their record this year, and I don't have it in front of me, but last week when just Durant and Booker played together, it was 22-9 when just those two were on the floor. Now, I know they've lost a couple games since then. I want to say it's 23-12 now when those two play. If they really do end up trading Durant, I mean, it will have been almost 2 years to the day. And it feels like it never, it's got to be the most unsatisfying era in Suns history, Wolf, just because you could see the potential.
Man.
And all the way back to that first year where Durant comes in as the Super Bowl is here. And if you think back to that, back then it was just if you just have Booker and Durant, that's all you need. They are the only team that even pushed Denver, really, in the playoffs, and Denver won the title. And now it's you got to have... The only way that's even feasible is if you have Booker and Durant and Jimmy Butler and a couple other guys. And this, I don't know what changed over the last 2 years because they were actually showing some real signs that first half season with Booker and Durant.
It is one of the things about sports that is truly amazing. It's not just about talent. I don't care if you're talking about football, basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it may be. It isn't just about talent. It never is, Basinonians, just about talent. It's always a combination on an individual basis and a collective basis, a team perspective. It's always been a combination of talent and toughness and what goes with that, culture. This is who we are, and this is what we do. And by the way, this is your role and your role and your role. And I think everybody knows that it's real and culture is real. Everybody that plays or has played it at a high level, it is. It's truth. Even if you go, you know what, Luke? If you go to a company and you're out there working in an office, I will tell you this, that office, that company has a culture.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Whether it's by happenstance or whether it's all planned and controlled. There is a culture, and what that's like, Basinonians. If you go out and you work anywhere, you've got that culture, and this is how we do things around here, and you know what that's like. There are good cultures and bad cultures. It's the truth. The NBA is no different. And right now, the very fact that we're having this conversation about KD, it goes back to the very core of that. I expect KD to be gone. I don't think we're ever going to see him in a Suns uniform again. That's just my own opinion.
So I'm just going to throw some stuff out there, okay? The Suns' all-time record with Booker and Durant both playing is 69-34. So that winning percentage would give them the fourth best record in basketball this year. Now, I know, Durant missed time and Booker missed time. And I'm not trying to make an argument that this team, if they stayed healthy, was going to win the title. They obviously aren't. Something's wrong. They just lost 2 in a row to Portland. It's hard to argue for them.
Well, they should have been a title contender, though.
They should have.
And they are not and have not.
And I would say the very first year when Durant first got here, even though that team was largely Durant and Booker, that was the closest they've been because they won a playoff series. It's not like they were on the verge of taking Denver out, but if you go back and look at how dominant the Nuggets were in those playoffs, the Suns were the only team that got close. They won a couple games, had a shot at winning a third game in that series. Last year, we know what happened. They couldn't get all three. Look, I'm not blaming this on Bradley Beal, but to me, that, in retrospect, was the mistake. Not trading for Durant, trading for Beal, and that contract that completely limits you from being able to do anything else. There was a time there when you had Booker and Durant, and it was like, okay, let's start adding some pieces. Once you signed Beal, you couldn't add any other pieces. You really couldn't. I mean, you were stuck adding guys on the veteran minimum, and they added a couple good ones, and they've made the Ryan Dunn pick that was, that's a fantastic pick, but that's the contract that hindered them.
Yeah, as a former professional athlete, I agree with everything you said right there. I really do, but as a former professional athlete, I am blown away by the harsh reality of the fact that culture and leadership and intangibles is real. It's the unseen
I don't disagree with
for
that.
the most part. It really is the unseen. I know you don't, but for me, it's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
It's what is brought down. What I think, this was the best laid plans of mice and men. When the Suns went out and acquired Bradley Beal, how did we all feel about that at that point in time? As I recall, pretty positive.
Positive, I would say.
Pretty positive about that.
We finally got the big three. We all wanted. Finally, the piece to the big three.
Oh, my goodness, look at Matty Ish. Are you kidding me? He's not. Yes, I understand there's going to be some problems here. Is he going to be a point guard? You can ask him to be the point guard? Knock it off. Who's going to play off? I mean, there were questions that were out there. But generally speaking, what did we all do, brothers? That was in the positive category.
I don't remember a lot of
There's no
Suns
doubt about
fans saying they shouldn't have done it. The few people I heard saying that they shouldn't have done it behind the scenes had no ties to the Suns or anything. They were just like, well, you're really limited now, so he better be the guy.
Yes,
no,
truth.
Look, when they traded for Durant, it was like craziness. And that was with the emotions of trading the Twins away.
Yes.
But you're like, seriously, we just got Kevin Durant, and now here we are. Well, if it's not even 2 years later, we're talking about them potentially trading him at any second.
Yes. And for me, again, remove the potentially. I just think that is my expectation is that has got to happen at this point in time. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, that's actually everywhere.
That's just an opinion for the most part. But to me, it is what is blowing me away again is the realization that you can look at guys on paper. You can look at guys and you can imagine things and you can say, oh my goodness, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Here we go. And yet the best laid plans of mice and men go awry.
The only issue I have with what you're saying about the intangibles and the culture and the leadership and things you can't necessarily measure until you have the chemistry together is I don't look at Jimmy Butler as a leader right now. It's really hard for me to look at him as a leader.
I totally agree what you're saying right now, but I think players might when he walks inside that locker room. Players might.
This is the kind of stuff, I will say this, that you tend to be really right on. I will say that.
Luke said that, Basinonians, not me. Luke said that.
I don't want to trade Durant for Jimmy Butler, but I will say this kind of the intangible things, the things that you say where I feel like maybe 30% of the audience agrees with you. Those are the things. No, but those are the things you are resoundingly right on. Like so hopefully
I'm gonna put that in a negative category. As a matter of fact,
that's a positive. Those are the things, because it's happened quite a few times even since we've started this show, where it's like, no, Wolf ended up being, and you're not just kind of right, you're 100% right.
Okay, now on the DA thing, I still feel like I was right on that one.
Well, yeah, you were.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Except this past
the
weekend.
Mad King when
he became Wilt Chamberlain.
Except when he was playing the Suns.
Playing the Suns. Thanks, DA. Thanks, you've destroyed us again. We come back. What does Kevin Murray want to see from the Suns tonight against the Thunder, and what does it mean for tomorrow's NBA trade deadline? Can you imagine that if the last game the Big Three plays together is against DA and he goes off and just shatters this team again? We'll ask the Suns broadcaster next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons.
Bobby Marks, and he joins us on Arizona Sports. Do you think that they can get a Jimmy Butler deal done?
I think I'm probably more optimistic today than I was maybe a week ago, because I was giving away state secrets, I would say. I do think there could be some traction with it. I think there's some things that need to fall in place here. I know everybody's trying hard, but as I said, it just takes one team.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons 2 till 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Luke Lipinski back to tell you about Stadium Swim at Circa Resort and Casino right in the middle of the action in downtown Las Vegas. I'll tell you right now, Stadium Swim is unlike anything you've ever seen before. I heard it described, and then I went last year, and it is crazy. They call it the best pool in history because it is. It's a 143-foot high-definition screen. You can watch sports on. That's 40 feet tall, by the way. And you watch from one of their 6 pools spread across 3 different levels. They got cabanas. They got amazing food. We were there for the Super Bowl last year. I just want to go back. And actually, we're going to go back. Now, look, huge golf tournament in Phoenix right now. There's a big one going on in April as well. Wolf and I are going to be at Stadium Swim broadcasting from one of the cabanas April 11th. You don't want to miss it. It's for the win, the ultimate golf tournament viewing party. Catch every angle from every hole from Augusta on that massive screen while you're there. Have some traditional tournament fare, genuine tournament prices, sip refreshing cocktails, and revel in the excitement of golf's biggest event. Don't miss out on the Green Jacket Party at Legacy Club Friday night either. Again, that's Stadium Swim, Circa Resort and Casino, downtown Las Vegas, April 10th through the 13th. Book your room. Reserve your spot today at circalasvegas.com.
Dan Bickley here, and a new year brings a new masterpiece from Sonic. Introducing the Bacon Deluxe Sonic Smasher hand-smashed patties made to order, double or triple stacked, covered with melty cheese, bacon, diced onions, crinkle-cut pickles, and delicious smasher sauce, all served up on a pillowy potato bun. It's a great addition to Sonic Smasher lineup, and another great reason to head on down to your neighborhood Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic.
To my city by the bay. NBA All-Star. Get ready for a show. Are you not entertained? When I come home, Stephen Curry is a 50. Let's get it all going on TNT.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Did you know the average roof in Arizona lasts about 15 years? And a typical homeowner will need to replace their roof 2 to 3 times. People often wait until it's too late to replace their roof because they can't visibly see the damage that the sun, wind, rains, and elements cause. What could have been a repair for a few $100 turns into damage to insulation, floors, drywall, baseboards, and more, which is why I want you to know about JLC Roofing, a third-generation family of roofers right here in Arizona. JLC Roofing takes pride and integrity as a family-owned business. Their motto is people over profits. A roofer-owned roofing company. They offer free estimates, specialize in tile, shingles, foam, and rolled roofing. JLC is even offering our listeners a $1,500 full replacement discount if you need a new roof. So if you need a repair or a new roof, go with the roofing company that is roofer-owned for 32 years. From grandfather to father to son, JLC Roofing. Call them at 602-ROOFING for a free estimate. And remember, JLC Roofing will never sell you what you don't need. Get that free roofing estimate at 602-ROOFING or jlcroof.com.
I'm Jesse Morrison with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. The Phoenix Suns are back in action tonight. They play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tip-off is at 7:30 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Kevin Durant is doubtful for the game with a sprained left ankle. The Arizona Diamondbacks are bringing back a familiar face. They signed outfielder Randall Grichuk to a one-year deal with a mutual option for the 2026 season. Grichuk hit .291 with 12 home runs and 46 RBIs last season for the Snakes. Despite starting the game on a 15-0 run, Arizona State men's basketball lost 71-70 to Kansas State last night. The Sun Devils dropped to 12-10 on the season and 3-8 in the Big 12. And the NBA trade deadline is tomorrow. Keep it right here for all the latest trade deadline news. This report is brought to you by Schwartz Laser Eye Center. Schwartz Laser Eye Center is the official team eye doc for the Suns and D-backs. Visit teamidoc.com and schedule your free eye evaluation today.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Catch it in from the corner.
Wolf and Luke.
Brings the boom and catching bodies on his way to the rack.
Suns, game day with K-Ray.
I'm ready for whatever. I'm ready for whatever.
All right, Kevin Ray is joining us. The Suns do have a basketball game in the middle of all this against Oklahoma City, of all teams, too.
Yeah.
And maybe that's better than playing Portland. So the Suns in Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder tonight. Kevin Ray is joining us on the Arizona Sports Line for Game Day with K-Ray. K, what's going on?
Hey, happy game day, boys.
Yeah, okay.
Nice mellow day, nothing going on.
It's It's going to be great talking to you. Honestly, just to have a third voice, K, and all of this trade deadline madness and actually talk about a game as opposed to the trade deadline, I like that.
Yeah, just to kind of honor the time of year we're at, I went out and bought 2 additional phones just so that I could maybe get involved in all the trade frenzy and maybe pause our discussion saying, hold on, guys, I got another call coming in.
You should just break out around 4 minutes from now and then come back and tell us it was nothing and that we'll find out about it in 24 hours. All right, let's start with what happened over the weekend and Monday. The back-to-back losses to Portland, K. You and I have talked, we've talked on the show a lot, but there was a stretch there in January where I was trying to talk myself into the fact that maybe this team was starting to turn things around. And then they lost 2 in a row to Portland, and the trade deadline's here. So where are you on all that?
I don't know what weekend you're talking about, Luke. I'm a little confused. I'm a little
denial
foggy about what occurred over the weekend.
That's the best way to handle this.
Yeah, it goes without saying that the 3 days in Portland, and we were joking, we said that 3 days in Portland, it sounds like a Quentin Tarantino movie. And in some ways, it turned out to be like that. It was gray, cloudy, cold, and the results were not what we wanted. So, disappointing. I mean, there's no other word to use, at least that we can use on live midday broadcast that really best exemplifies what occurred over the weekend, because I think we all knew and felt going into this road trip, that they needed to go 3-1 and got out to a great start with maybe the most impressive win of the season against Golden State. And, and I know people say, yeah, but look at Golden State. They're not but it was how the Suns won. It was the way that they kind of handled their business. And I think we were all excited and optimistic. And then you ran into what clearly right now is an absolute buzzsaw. The Portland Trailblazers, who, by the way, won again last night. They cooked the Pacers, so they've won 9 of 10. So I don't know if I say that to make myself feel better or worse, but, these recent losses have now put this team in dire straits and in the crosshairs, and in some ways a tipping point of the season as they step on the floor tonight against the best team in the West.
Yes, and we're going to get into that, of course. Kay, do you think right now that the Phoenix Suns have to do something big, or do you think there is still a belief that somehow, some way, this team could right the ship?
Here's the thing. I've been saying this for a few weeks. I don't know that something big is the answer. I've kind of felt like, and maybe it was because of what I saw Dallas do last year. Dallas went out and made moves that weren't big, they weren't super splashy, but my goodness, they were extremely effective. And it came at a marginal cost. Not that it was inexpensive, but it didn't cost them dearly. And I'm not suggesting that there are moves identical to that, but I think that in some ways the margin moves, if you will, are the ones where I think that this team could make some improvement. But look, it has to start also, guys, with the psyche and the mentality of this team, the roster as it is constructed, and that's with the guy who sits in front of each locker and laces up the shoes every night. It has to start collectively there.
We're talking to Kevin Ray. Kay, the question was asked of Coach Bud and Kevin Durant last week. I think it was after the Minnesota game, if the trade deadline's a distraction, and I kind of laughed it off at that point. But now, when you hear names as big as Kevin Durant potentially being bounced around, how much do you think this is weighing on this team in general? It just feels like for a month and a half we haven't known who the actual team's going to be, and how much do you think just getting through tomorrow could help this group?
Well, yeah, I kind of liken it to, I grew up in a little farming town, and there was a train tracks that ran right through the middle of our town. And I remember as a little kid, and even growing up, you would hear the train whistle, and it would be like 2-3 miles away, but you could hear it off in the distance. And you're like, oh, okay. And then it got closer, and then it got closer. And as it got closer, you kind of grew with anticipation because you wanted to see how fast the train was moving. You knew the kind of destruction that train could do if someone were on the track. And I kind of liken this particular trade deadline and the timing of it to that train and the train whistle. We've all heard the whistle, right, for the last 6 weeks. We know what that whistle has been. The question is, are the Suns going to be standing to the side of the tracks and seeing that train zip through town and we stand in awe, or are they going to be on the track and get blasted by this train? And I think because of the way this team has unfortunately played, there is a growing concern about that train and what it could do. And I don't think there's any question that had this team continued to win and build the way that they were through much of January, they would have been standing to the side watching that train go by. Right now, I don't think you could say otherwise, that it is clearly, especially since what occurred in Portland over the last few days, that there is a growing concern about that train and it ripping through town. And adding to that now is the fact that KD turned his ankle the other night, and for all the conspiracy theorists, it was a legitimate ankle turn. EJ, saw it happen. We saw KD limp after the game. So it's a real injury. It's not something that's, built in leading up to the trade deadline. But it is a real thing, and we're going to see what kind of focus and mentality this team has tonight when they step on the floor.
Okay, great stuff as always, man. Thank you.
Hang in there.
You got it, boys. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Who knows who will be on the Phoenix Suns when we talk to Kevin Ray again in a couple days. But they get Oklahoma City tonight, and then they are back home for 3 starting Friday against the Utah Jazz. We come back. Boy, this is a sign of where we are. If things get crazy, would you rather have Jimmy Butler or Draymond Green on the Suns? It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Here we go. America's pastime is almost back.
Del Castillo swings. High drive. Right field. Walk-off homer. Adrian Del Castillo.
Pitchers and catchers report next Wednesday. D-back season will be on Arizona Sports 98.7, the Arizona Sports app, and ArizonaSports.com. Spring training coverage presented by Estrella Jalisco.
All right, Basinonians. Ron Wolfley here from my brothers over at Santan Ford. Go to santanford.com for more information. Or you can go ahead and you can square the jaw right now, throw the shoulders back and say, doggone it, we are in the market for an EV. You need that electric vehicle. You can jump in the car and you can drive over to the Santan 202 freeway and Val Vista Drive in Gilbert. That's where Santan Ford is right now. Tim Hovix, Santan Ford is the place to explore the possibilities of EV. It's maybe the Mustang Mach-E that you love, kind of like Rick, or maybe it's the Ford F-150 Lightning. That's right, that's what I love, but I'm not into the EV. You might be into the EV, and I can tell you millions are right now. And Santan Ford, they have current lease offers that are really, really good right now over at Santan Ford. Head on over to the Santan 202 freeway and Val Vista Drive in Gilbert, or go to santanford.com. I am Santan Ford.
Looking to tackle home improvements or a big move? Waste Connections has you covered. Say goodbye to junk piles or renting a truck to haul your trash. Their roll-off rentals provide convenient, top-notch service at an unbeatable price. Waste Connections of Arizona. We want you trash.
Healthy hearts love longer. They let you be there for all of life's most precious moments, big and small. That's why the expert cardiologists at Dignity Health never miss a beat. They work alongside a cardiology care team to guide you through whatever comes your way. It's our job to keep your heart in tip-top shape so you can be there for whatever greatness comes next. Find your doctor today at dignityhealth.org/azheart. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Hey, did the ref blow the whistle on your roof? Because that's what happened at Casa Calvisi, and that's why we called America Roofing. Home or business, repair or replace, America Roofing is a slam dunk. A+ rated with a Better Business Bureau. Recently awarded Arizona's Contractor of the Year. More than 2 decades experience and more than 400 employees statewide. Jake, Josh, Tracy, and the crew can run a fast break to wherever you're at. Mention Calvisi and save 10% at AmericaRoofingCo.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and reputations matter, which is why if you're looking to buy a new vehicle, you need to check out my friends at Chapman BMW. They're an award-winning family-owned business since 1966. They've got a great reputation for elite service and handling, and they have a great reputation for making luxury affordable, which means they can put the car of your dreams in your driveway. You can always shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations, 1 great experience.
Sun Devil men's and women's basketball are ready for a Big 12 showdown.
The Jihad at the left elbow. Bounces to Clayton. It's cutting on the left baseline for a slam dunk.
Catch Sun Devil men's and women's basketball for a Hoops doubleheader Saturday, February 15th, when the Sun Devil women play host to Utah at 2 p.m., followed by the Sun Devil men's basketball team at 6 p.m. when they take on the TCU Horned Frogs. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
There's going to be a lot more games that tickets get to that price. So if you want to be a part of them, you better buy season tickets. You better do it right now. You better sell it out. because we're going to have a lot more games where this state wants to show up to. Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? That's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Well, hello to all of you in Radioland. Did the Suns get a steal for Beal? Did they go crazy for Katie? And what's the skinny on Jimmy? Why, tune in tomorrow at 6 a.m. for all the latest top news. Big Play Marana Mornings. 36 Skidoo.
I don't know that I've ever experienced a trade deadline, Wolf, where I'm looking at the clock and, like, I'm counting down because I kind of don't want anything to happen at this point. Like, normally it's like, hey, something's going to happen before tomorrow, whatever.
Yep.
Now it's just kind of like every time we go through a break, that's another couple minutes. Every segment's a few more minutes that the Suns haven't made the trade I don't want them to make. There are other names out there that have been floated around.
Obviously, Jimmy Butler's name has been floated out there a lot. Draymond Green's name is being talked about as a potential member of the Suns. Here's Stephen A. on First Take today talking about that.
The problem is, in all likelihood, Wendy, you'd probably have to trade Draymond Green if you were to acquire Kevin Durant, and that ain't going to happen because Steph Curry's not having that. That's the last thing that he wants to hear or do. Nobody is better than setting up Steph Curry than Draymond Green. He's vital. And by the way, when you talk about championship contention, it's not just about KD and Steph. You need Draymond Green with those two to compete because there's nobody to replace Draymond Green.
Where am I? What's going on?
But you know what Stephen A. is acknowledging? What is he acknowledging? It's the hidden elephant in the room. What's he acknowledging? Man, you can't get rid of Draymond Green and the culture and the toughness and intensity that he brings. You can't get rid of him and bring in Katie. That's what he's saying.
Well, I hope the Warriors feel the same way, that they can't afford to trade Draymond Green for Kevin Durant, because I can tell you, if somebody offered me Draymond Green for Kevin Durant, I would hang up and I'd make sure I never spoke to them again.
Okay, so wait a minute. I want to get this right.
0% chance I'm trading Kevin Durant for Draymond Green.
You do not want Draymond Green.
Not for Kevin Durant.
Of course, but once again, it would have to be there's other teams that are going to be involved, and you'd get more. It's not going to be a straight-up trade, Draymond Green for Kevin Durant.
Well, apparently Golden State wouldn't even do that. You insult me. You're going to give me this all-time great for a guy that punches his teammate?
I have to tell you right now, man. I have to tell you. Right now, Luke, this is really hard, Basin Orleans. I've done this for a long, long time. This broadcasting thing I've done for a long time, and I can tell you right now, there is so much indecision and ill will when it comes to this trade deadline for the Phoenix Suns. This is a terrifying proposition right now.
Yep.
It is. What fires me up and what bums me out? I wrote this down. What fires me up about the trade rumors that are out there right now, I can still tell you, it's still Jimmy Butler. Still.
I've come around on the let's give Booker, Katie, and Jimmy Butler a try, and the team might just be completely empty of talent in 2 years. I've come around. Let's do it. Let's give that a shot.
Okay, that to me, I'm there with you on that.
But it's not really.
Well, we all know it's not going to happen. Yeah. Okay, now still, do you still think Jimmy Butler would actually be a fit for the Phoenix Suns if KD were gone?
I think he could be a fit with KD and Booker. Otherwise, I don't want Butler.
Yeah, I know. You know, once again,
he started all this. Jimmy Butler started all of this.
I know. And that's why I think I'm in a position of desperation right now. I am. Because I do believe the Phoenix Suns know the one thing we can bank on, this is not working. This is not working. And if it means the only option we have is to move KD and bring in a different piece and actually give this a go, why don't we do that?
Here's Chris Canty from this morning.
He ain't KD.
No.
And so if you're going to move off of KD, your championship window is in effect closed. So why would you be trading for and extending Jimmy Butler?
Right.
That just makes no sense. And it's not as if Jimmy gives you a longer runway than KD. The age difference is negligible. KD is a year older than Jimmy Butler. KD's 36, Jimmy's 35. Like, it doesn't make sense.
KD plays more than Jimmy, too.
Yeah.
KD gets suspended less than Jimmy, too.
But if you move KD for draft capital,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler comes in here under this is a prove it. 1 year. You got 1 year, man. Okay? And we'll let you walk.
Well, that worked real well in Miami. I mean, I feel like what you're saying in theory is about the only way I'd sign on for it. Like, okay, we're going to try this with Jimmy because we are desperate, but we're not locking ourselves into this forever. But he's going to play 2 games and be like, I can't find my joy in Phoenix, too. And then what? There's no trade deadline. You can't get traded at that point.
And then once again, maybe Jimmy Butler comes here and Devin Booker is better because of it. He's better because of it. Because Jimmy Butler comes here and walks in with some leadership, and maybe Devin Booker, it fits like a glove for him. And also, it's modeled for him what that actually looks like on a daily basis. Just wondering, again, never forget, what was Devin Booker's goal to get better at this year coming in? Leadership. Said that himself. He was asked that very question. He needs to be better as a leader. I'm just throwing it out there saying that,
I'll do it.
Yeah, he'll do it. But Jimmy Butler, this is the reason why I'm lost in the dark about Butler, because everything I thought he was, Basinonians, what he's doing to get out of Miami, that's not what I thought. And I know everyone could say, Wolf, he did the exact same thing. He's done this before. I understand. But to me, that's not how I saw Jimmy Butler. And yet at the same time, what do you want to see at this point in time? The same thing going on? No. I don't.
The other part we have to keep bringing up, I mean, there's certain things I think we need to keep stressing as focal points. One, that Devin Booker's going to be here through the deadline. So let's all just celebrate that.
That's great.
Are we even sure Jimmy Butler wants to be here if Durant and Booker aren't both here?
Yes.
And I have a lot of questions on that.
And the reason being is because he thinks Matt Ishbia might be the only owner that actually is going to pay him.
And so if he's just totally driven by money, I don't see him coming in here and teaching everybody to be a better leader. If he wants to be here to play with Booker and Durant, okay, I mean, I've tried to give him some leeway here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Maybe something went bad behind the scenes in Miami, and like you said, it got personal, and he's looking around. He's like, man, yeah, as a player, I can see making it work with Booker and Durant if that's why he wants to be here.
Me.
But if it's just Ishbia can pay me the most, and I don't care if they're all gone, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Here's another name that's been thrown out there.
Wouldn't it be great if you could just sit in a room for a minute with Jimmy?
Well, he's not doing anything.
Wouldn't
so
that be
maybe
great? I mean, Jimmy, can I talk to you for a minute?
Can we get him on right now? Stop playing.
What happened? What happened? What is going on? Why did you react? I mean, would you love to ask him those questions? Yes.
Yeah.
And I can promise you right now, James Jones has asked those questions. They know why.
And they still seem to
what
want
happened.
Him. So that's I would trust James Jones and Matt Ishbia in that sense of like if they've asked him those questions, I'm sure they have, and they still want him, his answer to them must be good enough where they're like, yeah, no, this guy's still worth getting.
To me, prior to Matt Ishbia, okay, who might be the best owner in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of saying, I'm going to buy. I don't care what it's going to cost me. I don't care. We're going to go win a championship.
Exact opposite of the previous owner.
Exactly right. From that mentality right there. That's fantastic. But before Matt Ishbia, with James Jones, I was certain. One of the things I loved about James Jones as a general manager is he never forgot the player perspective. He never forgot that and what that is like. He knows what it's like to have chemistry and culture and leadership in a locker room. He knows it better than anyone else. He was part of it. He knows that part and values that part. I'm just wondering what kind of impact Matty Ish and his mentality of we're going to go out there and I don't care what it is. We're going to give this guy and we're going to pay it all. We're going to buy it all. Just wondering what kind of impact that's had on the mentality of James Jones.
See, well, and that's the other thing, and this will be a conversation we get into later, obviously, but if they're looking at Durant and saying, man, you're just not it. Like, I don't think that's the case, but if they're looking, then why didn't they try and trade him weeks ago? Why is it like, well, we can't trade Beal and we have to trade somebody, so I guess it's Durant. You know what I mean? Like, if they're looking at Durant and saying, culture-wise, we need something else, then you should have traded him 2 months ago if he's the problem.
Yeah, just wondering if that wasn't something that has happened. See, we don't know.
We're going to start to know some stuff here in 24 hours or less. When we come back, it's your turn. How would you feel if the Phoenix Suns really traded Kevin Durant? I can't believe I'm even saying this sentence on the air. I still haven't caught up to 2 years ago the fact they got Kevin Durant. Give us a call, 602-260-9870. Is trading Kevin Durant really the answer? It's our listeners-only meeting. That's next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Suns aren't ruthlessly and completely crushing the scrubs of the NBA, even with Book and KD healthy. Why? Kellen Olson and Kevin Zimmerman break down the reasons on the Empire of the Suns podcast from Arizona Sports. Get it on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. The Empire of the Suns podcast is brought to you by Sonic. Live free. Eat Sonic.
All right, Basinonians. Ron Wolfley here from my brothers over at All Pro Shade Concepts. Oh, yeah, man. Go to allproshade.com for more information right now. I can tell you, we are the Wu Fan Clan. We had All Pro Shade Concepts come over to the Wolfley compound, and they advised us, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they took a look at our shading needs, of course, and told us what our options were going to be. And they were absolutely the best. One of the best things we've done. We have changed our backyard, and we're enjoying it a whole lot more. And you can enjoy it as well. The stability and reliability of All Pro Shade Concepts. Customers can gain peace of mind knowing they're working with a financially stable and reliable company that will be around to support their products, of course, in the future. We're talking about custom-built manual or motorized shades, awnings, and LED lights. With a touch of a button, you can control the amount of sunlight that you enjoy. Go to allproshade.com. That's allproshade.com.
This Valentine's Day, shop at Hellsberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry. Like a diamond pendant that says,
I'm so lucky I met you.
a stunning engagement ring to say,
Let's make this day unforgettable.
or an anniversary band to tell them.
10 years, and we still got it.
Come to Hellsberg this Valentine's and get up to 50% off select jewelry and engagement rings. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Hey, it's Gambo, and I'm here with Stuart Willis, the president of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Stuart, we just had a change in administrations. How does that affect your clients' portfolios?
Well, you know, it's a question we get asked all the time. People want to know, should we invest here? Should we invest there? You know what I say? We use multiple money managers because we don't really know what the direction is going to go, and they all have different ideas. I think it's important to be diversified, to make sure that you have a group of competent money managers that can make those decisions.
So being diversified isn't just having your money in stocks and bonds. It's making sure that multiple money managers are looking at your portfolio so you are completely taken care of. Call Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax at 602-877-PLAN or go online at assetpreservationwealth.com for a free portfolio review. That's assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor.
Lose weight easier and faster with Red Mountain Weight Loss. Discover the power of semaglutide and tirzepatide, the breakthrough GLP-1 medications that are transforming lives. You lose up to 15 pounds a month without feeling hungry or deprived. And for a limited time only, save $100 on any GLP program and get our lowest prices of the year. Don't wait. Lose up to 15 pounds by this time next month only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Dan Bickley here with a great offer from my friends at Turf Monsters, where you can get 0% financing for 18 months on approved credit, same as cash. So whether you are looking for a new patio, a barbecue pit, artificial turf, or a state-of-the-art putting green, Turf Monsters is the company you can trust to build the backyard of your dreams. Schedule your free estimate by calling 623-323-3900 or online at turfmonstersaz.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Jesse Morrison with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. The Phoenix Suns are back in action tonight. They play the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Tip-off is at 7:30 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Kevin Durant is doubtful for the game with a sprained left ankle. The Arizona Diamondbacks are bringing back a familiar face. They signed outfielder Randall Grichuk to a one-year deal with a mutual option for the 2026 season. Grichuk hit .291 with 12 home runs and 46 RBIs last season for the Snakes. Despite starting the game on a 15-0 run, Arizona State men's basketball lost 71-70 to Kansas State last night. The Sun Devils dropped to 12-10 on the season and 3-8 in the Big 12. And the NBA trade deadline is tomorrow. Keep it right here for all the latest trade deadline news.
The listeners only meeting with Wolf and Luke.
All right, we are 26 hours away from the trade deadline. Gambo's going to join us in studio in about a half hour. So,
You know Gambo's going to have some info for us, as he always does, especially with stuff like this. So he's a good guy to talk to coming up. Right now, though, we're going to talk to you. 602-260-9870, listeners only meeting. Do you really think trading Kevin Durant is the answer? Do you have a better answer? Let's start with Tom in Gilbert. Tom, you're on the Wolf and Luke Show.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. First of all, the short answer is yes. The reasoning is simple. Insane people keep doing the same things, expecting the results to change. I want to, though, explain myself a little bit because, Wolf, you and I have a different definition of leadership in as much as leaders lead is defined by people get them to follow. Leading by example is what leadership does. When they talk to somebody, they say, "Do you see that guy over there? That's an example of what I want." And I've played, Ron. So with all due respect, I've played and I've coached at a very high level. I don't see leadership.
Where do we differ on that, though, Tom?
Well, because I think you accept leadership by example as a form of leadership, and I see leadership by example as an excuse because they're not getting people to follow. I think Devin Booker sets a great example of everything you'd want from a two guard in the NBA.
Okay.
I don't think he gets people to follow him, and by virtue of having no followers, then you are by definition not leading anybody. And so I don't accept the definition that a person can lead by example. Good leaders set an example. Oh. Good leaders use the example to get others to follow.
Tom,
so that's where we differ, and I don't see it on the Suns.
See, once again, I disagree with you characterizing me and what my definition of leadership is. Leadership is doing first. You would agree with that. You're not going to be a guy, Tom, that is going to be a sayer, right? You're going to be a doer first. And then you're going to earn the respect of your teammates for being a doer. But you also have to be a sayer. I say it all the time. The best leaders do and say. Isn't that right,
Yeah.
Luke?
No, yeah. You've been pretty consistent with that stance for as long as I've known you, even before the show. Let's go back out to the phones and talk to Kevin in Phoenix. Kevin, are you Kevin Durant?
Nah, I wish I was, man. I wish I was.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, but hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me on the show. But man, if we what are we talking about here, man? Where do we go if we honestly get rid of Durant? I mean, where do we go from there? I mean, are we going to get better? We're definitely not. So I mean, me personally, I'm 36 years, born and raised here. I'm Arizona teams across the board. I root nothing but for Arizona teams, all the teams. So if we get rid of Durant, as a Phoenix Suns fan, I'm done. I'm a free agent, so hey, teams, I'm out there. We get rid of Durant, I'm done. You know what I mean? I know we can't get rid of Bill. I understand that with the no trade clause, but we got to make that happen. I mean, it's the NBA. They just traded Lucas. I mean, crazier things have happened, so we got to make that happen.
So, Kevin, you feel like the
Kevin.
Phoenix Suns can still turn this around. He's gone. Is that what you're saying
he's
right
gone.
there? Okay.
He said something similar to what I said off the air this morning, though. Did he not?
Yeah.
It's what I keep coming back to, and I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but it sounded like he was saying this. I'm not sure two wrongs make a right. You know what I mean? Like you're in a bad situation. I don't know that there is a way to turn this team into a title contender this year.
I don't think so.
Let's go talk to Eli in Sun City. Eli, what's going on?
Hey, Wolf. Hey, Luke. Love the show. Thanks for having me on again. Like we talked about last time, I'm still 50-50. I'm okay either way with whatever happens, but this whole stuff is making my head spin. And my friend texted me today, and something from Espo said now something like they're not thinking about trading Kevin Durant. So I don't even know what to think anymore. It's just driving me absolutely high anxiety crazy. So just trying to wait for something from Gambo or a tweet from Shams. So yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Have a great day.
Thanks, Eli. You too. Well, the good news is Gambo's going to be in here in about 20 minutes, so he'll give us some
What
stuff.
is totally amazing about this, once again, we were just talking about it, disinformation, misinformation, and information.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between all three of those things.
I don't know that we're going to get – the closest we're going to get to clarity is when Gambo's in here in 20 minutes, and then I don't think we're getting much clarity until a trade either happens or we hit the deadline tomorrow. But – all three callers so far have made decent points. Rowdy in Santan Valley. What's going on, Rowdy?
Let's go. What's up, Luke?
What's up, Rowdy?
What's up, Rowdy?
Wolf, my man, dude, 62 and Savage.
Yes.
Brother. Hey, okay, so Aaron Maloney, I got to give you the props on live air. Congratulations, program director. Great job, all
That's
that hard
one
work.
Talented kid.
And she's still answering phones, man. You never get too big
That's right.
to serve. Come on, Aaron. No, but okay, so she asked me, do you want to trade KD? No!
Why, Rowdy?
Okay.
Why no?
Okay, yeah. Wolf, when this all started in December, it was Jimmy wanting out of the Heat and him wanting to play with KD. If you guys remember, there were these pictures going out of them smiling together. That was the whole thing. And at the time, it was like, we got to wait and see because the Suns still got another 5 weeks to ball before the trade deadline to see what they make of it. Well, we've seen what they made of this. The only way I want Jimmy Butler coming to the Suns is if KD is still here. I do not want Jimmy here to ruin the Suns like he's done in Minnesota, like he's done in the Heat, like he's done everywhere he goes. I don't want him pissing Book off.
Yeah.
I want him here only if KD's here. We got other options, guys. If there's no KD, there's no Jimmy. And so what do we do? What do we need? We need 4s and 5s. We have to go longer. We have to go younger. We have to get bigger. We have to get meaner. There are people out there that are available. We've got Dunn. We've got Iguodaro. We got Nurkic. Get him to L.A. I want Vanderbilt. I saw him last night. I want Vanderbilt and the Lakers first for Nurkic.
Okay.
We've got Tyus, Royce, Grayson. Tell me we can't get stuff. We just need to shake this thing up.
Yeah.
But let's see what we got. If we're doing KD, do it in the summer, please, when this thing's more thought out. I don't know. That's just my take.
Rowdy, that's awesome,
think,
man. No,
Thank you, man.
you know what? I appreciate your phone call right
I
there.
agree with a lot of what Rowdy said, except I don't think you're getting Vanderbilt in the first for Nurk. But everything else he said, I agree with.
The only thing I would go ahead and change is the 4s and 5s. We need 4s and 5s when it comes to first-round picks.
Let's take one more. Let's try and fit one more in here before the break. Let's talk to Rob and Tempe. Rob, you're on the Wolf and Luke Show.
Oh, gentlemen, good afternoon, and thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure.
So my quick answer to the question is trading Durant, no. And then offline they asked me, well, why? So it's a two-part answer to that. My first is, we're basically only 2 seasons into this, experiment, I guess, that you want to call it, the Big Three. And I think we're just being a little too impatient with as disarrayed as it's been for the last 2 seasons. But more on top of that, I want to pivot. And please, I want your response on this, gentlemen. I don't understand how this whole Butler to Phoenix has continued to have so much tread after everything sort of has unraveled and we hear about what's going on. I can't believe that so many people are still on board, considering the fact that everything that we've heard goes against the whole idea of culture.
Yeah.
And I think that what's happened, I don't think it's going to bring him coming in here is going to be a leader. I think if Ishmi and everything that Ishmi says, Butler talks about culture, I think it goes against everything that they supposedly say we believe in. And I just don't see that, I think that's why we're here at the 11th hour and nothing's happened, because I don't think we're going to take. I'd be really surprised if we took him. Your thoughts, gentlemen? Love the show. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Rob.
Excellent
Appreciate the call,
man.
I'll tell you what, all good calls. Why don't we we'll get into all this when we come back.
How about that? We answer his question.
Yeah, let's answer.
Back.
We'll start with Rob's question. And with all these trade rumors swirling, here's a question I have. What is Devin Booker thinking through all of this as the team is hypothetically just picked apart around him? It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons.
If the Suns do not have success this year and are eliminated early in the postseason, I do not see a scenario in which they bring the team back the way it is. I don't see it.
I think it'd be irresponsible for them to do that.
I think that at that point, you would have 3 playoff seasons of Durant.
Yes.
3. And if you're not having any success, I think you have to totally come to the realization that it's over.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons 2 till 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Everybody, Dan Bickley here, and we tell you about Sweet James Accident Attorneys for very important reasons. And here's a story that proves why you should never face an insurance company alone if you are hurt in an accident. One of our listeners was seriously injured in a trucking accident, and guess what the insurance company offered him for his injuries? 0, nothing, nada. Well, he called Sweet James, and not only did they get him the medical care he needed, but they secured a whopping $10 million win, and that is a life-changing victory. Now, they can't guarantee outcomes. No law firm can. But in our legal system, having the right attorney makes all the difference in the world, and that is why you call Sweet James. They win big, and they treat you with compassion every step of the way. And don't wait to call, because waiting may hurt your case. Remember, you pay nothing until they win. 800-9-million. That's 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/radio and use code radio for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/radio and use code radio at checkout.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin. Terrific.
Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare.
Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Hi, Dieter Dan here with Wayne from AMCO.
Hey, Dan. So we're into the new year. W-2s are coming out, and it's tax time. Soon we'll be getting our tax return checks.
Oh, I know what I'm going to spend mine on this year.
Yeah?
New traffic jammies.
Perfect. Hey, don't forget about your car. You know, getting your taxes done can be complicated, but where to take your car when it needs repairs isn't. That's us at AMCO.
Wayne, I know, but it can take up to like 8 weeks or more to get your tax check. If you need car repairs, should you just wait until you get the check?
No, Dan, don't wait. Now's the best time of year to get all the things done that you've been meaning or wanting to get repaired on your car.
Ah, so tax time is the best time.
It sure is. And remember, AMCO has the Fix It Fast, Pay It Slow plan all year long. But at tax time, it really works good. You can get your car, truck, RV, hot rod, whatever you drive, all fixed up and drive away. And then pay for it when your tax check comes in.
Wayne, that's awesome.
I'll say we're AMCO.
Google AMCO for your nearest location. That's AMCO, AA, MCO, transmissions, and a whole lot more.
This is Jarrett. Tonight, the Suns play the best team in the West, the Thunder. And it's doubtful they'll have Kevin Durant tonight. Is it also doubtful that they'll have Kevin Durant after tonight? We'll talk about the latest Suns news tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, anything can change here at any minute. Gambo's going to join us in about 15 minutes, Wolf, but should react to some of those calls we just had. And like you said, maybe start with answering Rob's question there at the end that he asked us to answer about why people are still on board with bringing Jimmy Butler in, especially if you're not going to have Kevin Durant here. But I feel like his question was even just more like, why do we even want Jimmy Butler aside from Kevin Durant?
Yeah, you know, once again, there's information, there's misinformation and disinformation. And I think anytime you've got a story this big and these rumors that are out there, misinformation is false or inaccurate information, getting the facts wrong for the most part, just getting the facts wrong. Disinformation is doing it deliberately, getting the facts wrong. Does that make sense?
Happens a lot.
And because of that, right now, the truth is out there. And I think JJ, James Jones, of course, and Matt Ishbia, they've had conversations with people that are saying things that might be contrary to some of the other facts that we're hearing in this story with Jimmy Butler that is out there. Okay? They may have they may have information that we don't know, and maybe that's why they might still be interested, to your point, brother.
It's and you know, I'm not interested in Jimmy Butler if they don't have Durant. To me, that's like you have this really nice car, but you need a coat of paint.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm giving the car away, I don't need the coat of paint at that point. You know, like if I'm trading the Lamborghini away, I don't need the paint. So I think that puts you in a spot where if you are,
even though the Lamborghini breaks down all the time and it's not working for you as a vehicle,
but I still don't need the paint if I trade it. Right? I mean, you can talk me into trading the Lamborghini, but I don't need the paint. You know, to answer Rob's question another way, I would say I don't know that a lot of people are on board with it, just because every time the website here runs a poll question of, do you want Jimmy Butler, or some variation of that, who do you want this? It for a while there was like 60-40 yes for Butler, then it was like 50-50, then it was 60-40 no, and then the last time that I remember seeing one, like a week and a half ago, it was 80-20 no, that Suns fans really didn't want Jimmy Butler at that point. I think it goes, and Kevin was another caller we had, and I don't know if his phone dropped or what. We didn't get back to him, but I thought he made a point very similar to how I feel. If I'm trading Kevin Durant, you better give me a real good argument that I'm getting better, other than just, well, we had to do something before the deadline.
Well, how about this, Luke, right here? If you're trading Kevin Durant, are you admitting we're blowing this thing up and we're starting over? Are you okay with that?
I'm more okay with that than trading him to Golden State and getting Jimmy Butler from Miami.
Am I.
Yeah.
The one thing I know right now, this is not working.
Yeah.
I think we can say that with certitude. And that bums me out because I think KD, the way I feel about him, I think this guy is a great dude. I think he's a good person. Yet at the same time, he's the best basketball player, maybe the universe. Well, I would say he's one of the best basketball players the universe has ever known. Yet at the same time, he's not a leader. That's the one thing about KD we do know. He's not a leader.
And that's where, see, and just to reset, because I know people are jumping in and out, I don't want to trade Durant. But what you just said, if you're going to trade Durant, I think regardless of what you do, you have to pick a direction. And if you don't do anything, your direction is going to be picked by tomorrow at 1. To me, trading Durant and bringing in Jimmy Butler is not picking a direction. It's basically going down the same direction. I know we had a caller that said, well, that's the definition of insanity, just doing the same thing over and over again, just keep running Durant and Booker and all them back out there. But to me, if you trade Durant and bring in Butler, you're still doing the same thing. You're just doing it with a player that's not as good as Kevin Durant. So I don't want to trade Durant, but if you're going to do it, then pick the direction of we're tearing this down around Booker and rebuilding.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about this earlier, but for me right now, there's a fire sale on Jimmy Butler, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is an unmitigated disaster for the Miami Heat. What has happened with Jimmy Butler?
And right now, he's their problem, not ours.
He's their problem. It's a disaster. So there's a fire sale. So how much more draft capital could the Phoenix Suns get if they went ahead and actually got Jimmy Butler and some draft picks to give them a little bit of future, a little bit of something down the road that they could use from this deal, from the Kevin Durant deal, and then put Jimmy Butler on you're on notice, man. Show us what you got.
Yeah.
Show us what you got, and then we'll talk about an extension. And if we get kicked in the face, we're going to have to get kicked in the face.
I mean, at this point, you might actually be able to take that stance, because now Jimmy Butler's probably desperate. He's 25 and a half hours away from being stuck in Miami for the rest of the season. And Miami's desperate. Miami, I think at this point, would trade Butler for almost anything.
Yeah, not fire sale, man.
Not Beal, apparently, but almost anything else. But they, Butler at this point's got to be like, hey, I got to get out of here. Like, if you believe all the reports, he basically nixed the deal to Golden State because he specifically wants to come to Phoenix. And like you said earlier, I'd love to ask Jimmy Butler why. Not sarcastically, like, don't you see this as a mess? No, like, why? Do you want to play with Booker and Durant? And you think as a player, if he tells me, like, no, I can do something with Booker and Durant, the three of us, we can do some damage. I believe that. The players know before anybody else. But if it's just like, well, there's 30 teams and only one of them will give me an extension, so that's why I want to go there, that's not going to solve our problem.
Yeah. Could you get a fire sale on Jimmy Butler, though? I keep wondering about this, even if it meant Kevin Durant. Could you actually get some draft capital with it and a fire sale on Jimmy Butler to where he came in and show me what you got the rest of this year. And then we'll talk about what we're going to do at that point in time.
Well, Golden State.
But also, just from that point, would you like to see what would happen with Book, Bradley Beal, and Jimmy Butler?
The basketball fan in me is interested by that, but we get back to where I was yesterday. I'm sure. Well, I'll watch that experiment on a different team, not the Suns.
What if Jimmy Butler was almost marginalized in this deal? And it was more a focus on the draft capital.
And then Butler was
for KD. And Butler was almost a throw-in because at this point in time, I don't think there's a lot of people banging down and knocking down doors to get Jimmy Butler.
Well, he won't go anywhere. So, yeah, you're right. They can't.
But I think even now you have to wonder at what point.
Yeah.
At what point are teams looking at him as he might be a little gangrene, if you know what I mean?
Somewhere in here, Golden State is going to have to give up pieces. They can't sit there and be like, yeah, we'd like Durant. We can't give up Draymond Green, though. Well, we can't give up Jonathan Kuminga. Well, we can't give up pick. Like Golden State, if you're going to get one of the best players of all time, who, by the way, hasn't dropped off on the court, you're giving something up, too. Like, they're just sitting there like, yeah, we'll give you we got a second rounder in 2028. That should get us Durant, right? Like, the Suns aren't desperate to trade Durant. Miami's desperate to trade Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Hope the Suns aren't desperate to trade Durant. Then we got real problems. We come back. Trade deadline's just over 24 hours away, in case you didn't know. That's why we're all losing our minds.
Oh, my goodness.
So what's the latest on the Suns? We're going to ask the co-host of Burns and Gambo and our Arizona Sports Insider. Gambo is joining us next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The NBA trade deadline is officially at 12:59 p.m. tomorrow, but NBA GMs turned in their assignments way early, and it's already been bonkers. Luka the Laker, AD the Mav, De'Aaron Fox the Spurs, Zach LaVine the King. Will the Suns pick up a new starter? Will the Valley say adios to someone already here? Arizona Sports has breaking Suns and NBA news as the trade deadline approaches, and after losing a wacky one in OT at Portland, we have our Suns at the Thunder tonight, 6:30 pregame, 7:30 tip on the home of the Suns, right here. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here for my brothers over at Aria Dental Implant Center. Go to AriaDentalImplantCenter.com, especially right now if you're looking at your teeth and you know you need it. You need the all-on-4. Well, right now you've got maybe some missing, maybe some painful teeth right now. They will take care of you. Yeah, my brothers over at Aria Dental Implant Center will take care of you with a full-mouth dental implant treatment starting at $9,900 an arch. And most patients do not have to wait to get their final set of teeth. In the past, it's taken 4, maybe 6 months for your final set. Now, Dr. Joe, who owns and operates Aria Dental Implant Center, and my friends over at Aria, they can actually get you that final set in days, Basinonians. Not months anymore, just days. And it's a fraction of the cost of those corporate dental implant centers that are out there. Go to AriaDentalImplantCenter.com. That's ARIA DentalImplantCenter.com.
Is your AC so old it deserves a retirement party? Paul Calvese here, because day and night, air conditioning, heating, and plumbing, they're searching for the oldest AC in the valley. The winner gets a brand new high-efficiency air conditioner with an air purifier. Enter by texting DAY to 602-649-1889. Text DAY to 602-649-1889. Conditions apply. See official contest rules. Valid entry dates January 13th through February 9th, 2025.
If it's your business to manage a fleet of vehicles, then this message is for you. Hi, Tim Hovick here. You and I know that a fleet vehicle working hard is a fleet vehicle that's making money. Well, consider this. What if my fleet service department came to you? Introducing Santan Ford's Mobile Fleet Service. It's the new way of managing your work trucks. Give us a call. We'll show you how it can be a moneymaker for your business. We can even customize a plan just for you. Santan Ford Mobile Fleet Service. We keep your work vehicles on the road.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here, and reputations matter, which is why if you're looking to buy a new vehicle, you need to check out my friends at Chapman BMW. They're an award-winning family-owned business since 1966. They've got a great reputation for elite service and handling, and they have a great reputation for making luxury affordable, which means they can put the car of your dreams in your driveway. You can always shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations, 1 great experience.
Every day, reliable, comfortable, connected. Every day you rely on power. At APS, we work around the clock to deliver some of the most reliable power in the country. But with Arizona's extreme weather, outages can happen. Stay safe and informed with alerts by keeping your contact information up to date. And visit our outage center for updates online or on the APS app. For more ways to stay safe and informed, visit aps.com/brighter.
I'm Jesse Morrison with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. The Phoenix Suns are back in action tonight. They play the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Tip-off is at 7:30 right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 in the Arizona Sports app. Kevin Durant is doubtful for the game with a sprained left ankle. The Arizona Diamondbacks are bringing back a familiar face. They signed outfielder Randall Grichuk to a 1-year deal with a mutual option for the 2026 season. Grichuk hit .291 with 12 home runs and 46 RBIs last season for the Snakes. Despite starting the game on a 15-0 run, Arizona State men's basketball lost 71-70 to Kansas State last night. The Sun Devils dropped to 12-10 on the season and 3-8 in the Big 12. And the NBA trade deadline is tomorrow. Keep it right here for all the latest trade deadline news.
The NBA trade deadline. Wolf and Luke talk Suns and NBA moves now.
All right, we got Gambo in studio a couple hours before his show, of course, with Dave Burns, 2 to 6. Gambo, first of all, man, thanks for coming in and doing this.
Yeah,
I
Johnny.
assume you're a little busy right now.
Oh my God! I tell you, like I haven't honestly. I don't think I've slept much in like 4 days.
It's got to be so tough.
It's so like I can't sleep. I just can't sleep. I mean, this thing has been
so I've got to ask you
waning on me for 4 days. We broke the Nick Richards story.
Yeah.
You know, we were the first in the country to have Nick Richards coming here. We had the information last night about the Nurkic and Valanciunas that would be part of a bigger deal. If they make that trade, it would be part of a bigger deal. We told everybody it would be part of something bigger. And now we're just waiting because the trade deadline's, finally here. And my wife decided to have like this custom-made cabinet made where our TV is, so I have no internet in my house right now. I'm like, today? Like, you got these guys coming today? Like, yeah, she's having this custom-made whole thing for the TV.
Oh, my goodness.
And so, like, no internet. I'm like, you serious? You did this today. So I'm like, I'll just come
Johnny,
to the studio.
I've got to ask you this right now.
Yeah.
Do most of these guys call you, or is it just a text for the most part?
Both. I mean, both.
You do both.
I over 28 years of doing this, I know a lot of people. I just end up knowing a lot of people, all over the place.
Yeah.
So, it used to be like somebody would be here and then they would leave and I'd be all pissed off. But you just develop contacts and stay in touch with people and things like that. And so, I mean, like if I told you like I am literally working this stuff past midnight and then before 6 a.m., like it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Wow.
I mean, it's up till every day
Brutal.
up past midnight, and like I don't think I've slept more than 4 hours in any day in the last like 4 or 5 days.
It's crazy. At least you're 26-ish hours away from being
I know.
able to sleep, I guess.
Yeah, we're almost there. There. What do you guys want to start with? Go ahead.
Right,
I mean, I can't tell you everything I know.
Okay.
I'd have to kill you, so I can't tell you everything I know.
That wouldn't even help.
I'd have to
everybody
kill
else
both
could
you
hear
guys. There'd be no show. But where do you want to start with?
I want to start in what you just said. I don't want to put you in a weird position, but what I don't want is to get Jimmy Butler while trading Kevin Durant away. How concerned do I need to be about? Like, is that still a possibility? Is that something that they don't want to do? Because you see a million different things.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
I mean, it's definitely something that's been discussed and looked at. I spoke with 3 different teams. I think I even posted last night that one team told me that that's what they're hearing. They're hearing that Butler will end up here and Kevin Durant will end up in Golden State. Now, these are I don't speak to the third assistant coach's wife's cousin. I only speak with the top people in the organizations. And yeah, the people that I've spoken with, I've had 3 different teams kind of say they're hearing that. They've heard that Kevin Durant to Golden State is real. It's real. Now, again, to make that happen would be very difficult. It would be multi-teams being involved. So we don't know if it's going to happen or not, but you can't dismiss it. You can't just say, oh, no, that's ridiculous. That's never been discussed. I confirm the Golden State Warriors have been very aggressive in calling for Kevin Durant, very aggressive in calling for Durant. Now, I don't think Kevin Durant wants to get traded, guys. I don't believe that Kevin Durant wants to be traded from what I've heard. Okay. I think he likes it here and he doesn't want to get traded. So how much of a factor is that? We'll see.
Okay, so Johnny, right now, what do you think the odds are? If you just had to pick odds, what do you think the odds are the Phoenix Suns make a big deal before the deadline?
I think they're going to make a trade. I know that they're working on big trades.
But you don't know if it's a big one.
I believe that they're working on big trades, but hard to do. You know, it's hard to do. Do I think that they're working on something big? Yes. I think they will make a trade. There are also smaller trades that they could make. You know, could they add an athletic power forward type player to help in that area? Sure. I mean, they could do something smaller as well. Do I think that they'll do nothing? No. I don't think that they will do nothing. I think they will do something. It could range from something big, or it could range to something as, getting somebody at a position of need for them. Think more in line of power forward type, player that could come in. And not looking for a point guard or a shooting guard, or center, but, looking for somebody that might be able to help them at a position of need, more of a, wing/forward type.
If they can't make a big trade, just based on kind of what you're hearing and what your sense is, if they can't make a big trade, how much is on the line the rest of the season in terms of would they start looking at blowing this up in the offseason if this doesn't get better?
Yeah, probably. Look, what they know is that they've evaluated this team for a long time and they know it's not good enough. That something's wrong and it's not good enough, and it just hasn't worked out. I don't know if I don't think there's any regrets. They went out a chance to go get Kevin Durant. When they traded for Kevin Durant, they were about a 500 basketball team. So I don't think there's regrets that it just hasn't worked out. And so I do think that, they have to try to make a move that can maybe help them now, but also help them in the future. But I do think that they've evaluated this team over, the last 6 weeks or so since the Jimmy Butler news first came out in December. And I think they've realized that this team is just not good enough the way it's constructed. It's just not good enough. You can make a move. If you can't make a big move here or there, then, I think you'll get to the summer and you'll see, what can we do? I will tell you, Devin Booker's not getting traded today.
See, I was just going to ask you that.
He's not getting traded.
Devin Booker's untouchable.
No, Devin Booker's not getting traded. Devin Booker's not getting traded.
Okay. So you would say he's untouchable.
I'd quit my job if Devin Booker got traded today. He's not getting traded.
I think we all would, actually.
Devin Booker's not getting traded. He's not getting traded.
Okay.
Look, I mean, the Kevin Durant stuff, like I said last night, I spoke to 3 different teams that have all heard the same thing, that's real. So we'd say. I think the Suns still want to get Jimmy Butler. Bradley Beal's very hard to trade, and not just because of the no trade clause and the contract. He just hasn't played well enough. He just hadn't played really well enough. So I think there's still a 10% chance that they could move Beal, but I would really put it low, more in the 10% chance.
Okay.
But I'm sure they're looking at that as well. But do I think the Suns are going to make a trade before the deadline? Yes. It could. Again, I mean, without I have to be somewhat vague here. Could be something big. It could be something small just around the edges to try to make them a little bit better basketball team right now.
I just want to circle back to Beal because that was kind of my next question. You sort of answered it there, but just to kind of pivot on that.
Yeah.
So that's not completely done. It's just everybody
it's been
knows
impossible.
It's difficult.
Nobody wants them.
Okay.
It's just you gotta there was some thought. I was talking with somebody the other day, and they gave me a hint that he might go back to a place that he's familiar with, and a place that is known for where the college is known for producing great centers. I'm like, okay, that's obviously that's Georgetown. Patrick Ewing, Alonzo
you have to deal
Mourning,
with riddles in the middle of all this.
Dikembe Mutombo, Othello Harrington. Some people give me hints. Some people give me, and then I in turn I try to give people hints on the show and on the social media. I try to hint as well, and a lot of people that kind of know me know what the hints mean.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But I can't imagine Washington would want Beal back unless they're getting a lot of assets. But nobody to this point has wanted Beal. I mean, honestly, this started December 11th.
Yeah.
And they've, just there hasn't been anybody that wants to take on Bradley Beal. He's owed $110 million over the next 2 years after this year. And so it's very, very difficult to make that. And he still has the no trade clause. Do I think he'd waive the no trade clause if somebody wanted him? Yes. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I think so. I don't think this whole that you're hearing Bradley Beal won't go anywhere. He'll say no to everybody. I don't believe that to be true. I don't believe that to be true. I think if the right situation came up, he'd be okay with that.
Okay, how about this, Johnny? Is Big Nurk? Well, is he? What is the likelihood he gets moved before the deadline?
There has been talk on a Nurkic for Valanciunas trade with Washington, but only as part of a bigger deal. So something came up yesterday. The Suns could move Nurkic to Valanciunas, and so we talked about it on the air and on social media. I said, yes, this is true, but it doesn't have all the details. The details are that it would be part of a bigger deal. It would not be part of a let's do a 1-for-1. It would be part of a bigger deal. And then if you got Valanciunas and you didn't want him, could you trade him for somebody? Maybe you could do something like that. But I don't think like the Suns are. To your point, I don't think the Suns will look and say, that's the guy we've got to get. We got to get Jonas Valanciunas. That's our answer.
Right.
I don't believe that to be the case. Again, I believe anything that happened there would probably be part of something bigger.
Well, Gambo, it's good that you talk to all these people around the league because you have no internet, so you'd be screwed without that.
My wife. Who does that? Who does that? Sets up a whole custom-made, front, like whatever that's called, where your TV is and all that whole entertainment system, where your internet is. So now the internet's down. I'm like, the internet's going to be down. What do you mean the internet's going to be down? Yeah, we're not going to have internet today. How are we not going to have internet today? The freaking trade deadline's in 24 hours. Like, look, I love you, babe. Come on, think. I got to come into the office at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Talk to Wolf and Luke. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate this.
Thank you, bro.
All right, boys.
Thanks. That's Gambo, of course. Check out 2 to 6. He's going to have more stuff then, as always. The Outlaw Music Festival featuring Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan is back at Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater May 13th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m., but you can visit the contest page now at arizonasports.com for your chance to win tickets before they're available to the public. When we come back, we'll react to everything Gambo just told us regarding the Suns next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
You can't use the old excuse about not having enough storage because we know you've got the cloud. Download the Arizona Sports app and keep it on your home screen for breaking sports news, all the Arizona sports shows and podcasts, plus listen to the Suns, D-backs, ASU athletics, and more on your phone. The Arizona Sports app is presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here for my brothers over at Presidential Pools. Go to presidentialpools.com for more information. I can tell you right now is a good time to do it. They have quick project start times right now for you. We're talking about Arizona's #1 pool builder in the state, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to use, of course, before the spring coming up, and they've got off-season discounts going on right now. That's a good reason to get on over to Presidential Pools. Maybe you're looking out into your backyard. You're thinking, that's where that pool needs to go. Well, you need Presidential Pools and Spas. You're choosing peace of mind when you choose Presidential Pools, of course. Their industry-leading 5-year warranty ensures your investment is going to be protected. Plus, you'll enjoy exclusive presidential perks with every pool that is sold. Go to presidentialpools.com for more information. That's presidentialpools.com, Arizona's #1 pool builder.
Golf responsibly with Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale from Four Peaks Brewing, Arizona's #1 craft brewery. Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale is easy to enjoy. Subtle notes of passion fruit, orange, and guava flavors, and a crisp, refreshing finish. Check out Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale at your local restaurant or retailer. Golf responsibly.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1902 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1902 silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 300 of these Morgan silver dollars are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-806-1641, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1902 Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic old mint mark of the New Orleans Mint, but with limited quantity. You must call now. These 1902 silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 122 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-806-1641. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value free with every order. Call 1-800-806-1641 now to secure your 1902 Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-806-1641.
Hey, Gambo here with a huge special
from Christian Brothers. Get your furnace CO2 checkup for just $49. Make sure your family is safe this winter as people start turning the heat on. And if you just got through with an AC unit on its last leg, Christian Brothers has a special where you can get $2,000 off any AC unit right now. You can even finance a brand new unit for as low as $175 per month. And with any new unit purchase, get a free indoor air scrubber. Christian Brothers carries many of the major brands. Call them at 602-222-3535 or online at cbrothers.com.
Sun Devil men's and women's basketball are ready for a Big 12 showdown.
Jihad at the left elbow, bounces to Creighton. It's cutting on the left baseline for a slam dunk.
Catch Sun Devil men's and women's basketball for a Hoops doubleheader Saturday, February 15th, when the Sun Devil women play host to Utah at 2 p.m., followed by the Sun Devil men's basketball team at 6 p.m. when they take on the TCU Horned Frogs. Get your tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
There's going to be a lot more games that tickets get to that price. So if you want to be a part of them, you better buy season tickets. You better do it right now. You better sell it out because we're going to have a lot more games where this state wants to show up to. Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? That's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Diamond Dave and Desert Wholesale Diamond. Break from retail and visit Diamond Dave for lab-grown or natural diamonds at the best price. Call 480-397-2450 or on Insta at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hey, everybody, it's Bernsey. Randall Grichuk is back in the fold with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So what is next on the off-season to-do list? The Burns and Gambo Show starts at 2 right here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
All right, thanks to Gambo for joining us there. And, of course, listen to Burns and Gambo 2 to 6.
I could not do what he does. Not even close. First of all, talking on the phone, don't call me Basin Owens. Please don't call me.
So you're going way back to the basics.
I'm just saying right now, my father, I remember growing up, and of course, this is when every home had a phone, Basin Owens, and that thing would ring. My dad, it would drive him nuts. This is before the turn of the century, ladies and gentlemen. That phone would ring. That friggin' phone! That's what he used to say all the time, and it would drive him nuts. To this day, though, 62 and savage, I can't stand talking on the phone.
All right.
I'd rather just text. Can you just text me?
So you're definitely...
And John, here John, he's got these guys calling him all the time.
Oh.
And texting them as well, but still.
That's why you couldn't do it. Why I couldn't do it is I think we've all been in this position before where you're on the air for a little bit and you know something you can't say yet. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, all right, now I got to make sure not only do I not say it, but that it doesn't influence other stuff we were going to talk about. Now, that happens from time to time. Gambo's got to deal with that pretty much all the time right now, and he's hosting a 4-hour show. So it's not like he can just go lock himself in a quiet room.
Yeah.
He's got to talk, and some stuff I'm sure he's talking about, he's like, I don't know, this isn't going to happen, or it is. I don't know. All right, so a couple things he said that stood out to me. Wolf, one, we'll start with this again because he just said it, and he was very emphatic, and we are now seeing this other places too, that Devin Booker's not going anywhere. So let's just, I know that in a lot of people's minds, that's like, well, yeah, no, duh. Well, no, but let's start there. Devin Booker's not going anywhere. So, in the positive category with that one.
Yes, there we go. Book is a Phoenix Sun. Ron Wolfley reporting.
You just said you couldn't do that.
My sources.
Wolf's sources would never get through to him because he wouldn't answer the phone.
Okay, yeah. Well, it was a source that was reporting that, and I thought I just reported it as well.
Yeah, you re-reported. That's what you do.
Okay.
You don't report, you re-report.
Yes.
I also thought it was interesting what he said, that the Beal stuff isn't necessarily being held up by this idea that Beal refuses to waive his no-trade clause. That what did Gambo say? He's like, yeah, he could potentially, he feels like, could be talked into it. That's not really the problem there. It's the contract, and the Beal hasn't really delivered this season to the extent where some team would be like, we got to get Bradley Beal right now.
Yeah. You know, there's a lot of speculation that is out there, of course, and we've seen some big trades already happen. We have seen that. Luka Doncic, of course, De'Aaron Fox as well. I think that's
Fox
a big
trade would have been the biggest trade in almost any other year.
Yeah.
And it's not even talked about.
You're right. It is. And, boy, I think San Antonio, once again, on its way to being a problem in the West all over again.
It hasn't been a great season.
It has not. Yes, I know.
Now the Spurs are good, too.
But, again, what is out there for the Phoenix Suns? What kind of trade speculation for me right now, Basinonians? Just in this is being in the business for a long, long time. Not the business of breaking stories. The business of trade deadlines, coming and going for actually over 20 years doing this job of broadcasting. I can tell you right now, it looks like Kevin Durant is gone. I'm reading the tea leaves based on all of the trade deadlines that I've ever been around, and right now what is being said. What can you trust? Misinformation, disinformation, and information that is out there. I think KD is gone. I don't think he's going to be a Phoenix Sun come Friday.
There were two things that Gambo said just last segment. And if you missed it, I would encourage you to go back and listen. But one, I was hoping he would say, no, there's no way they're going to trade for Jimmy Butler and trade Kevin Durant away at the same time. And he said, no, that's definitely still a possibility. So that really was not great for me personally. But
well, it depends what else.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing.
It depends what else you get, of course.
There's so much unknown. It's hard to talk definitively because there's so much unknown. And not like unknown like people are hiding it. A trade involving the Suns right now seems like it would be so complicated that the people involved don't totally know yet because it's not there yet. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a trade that's going to happen in 10 minutes and they're trying to hold the information. And it's not like that Luka trade the other day. It was crazy to me that they were able to keep it secret for as long as they did, but it wasn't this super complicated thing. I mean, the trade itself ended up being a couple players. So it really was just, can these guys keep it secret? This isn't a secret. Nobody knows yet because the trade isn't there yet.
Yeah, you know what, though? If I had to speculate.
Yeah. Okay,
here we go. Oh, boy, this is going to be good. Here we go. Everybody gather around the transistor and press the ear. If I had to speculate, though, right now, I could see Jimmy Butler being marginalized to a point where it's the Phoenix Suns or nowhere. And you know what? It really isn't it's not the center point of the deal. Miami wants Jimmy Butler gone and will take anything to get him out of here. Now, all of a sudden, the Suns, could Jimmy Butler be a throw-in if they move KD the way that I speculate and think they will? They move Kevin Durant, and maybe it's for draft capital. Maybe that's what it's for. Maybe they are going to blow the thing up. It's for draft capital. Oh, and at the same time, Jimmy Butler is thrown into the deal just to get him out of Miami at this point in time.
So you're saying and I'm just throwing names, but like Kuminga and some picks and Butler for Kevin Durant.
Correct.
That I can get more on board with that. I still am not real high on trading Durant, but what you're saying allows you to sort of rebuild without complete scorched earth with it.
Exactly.
So you could rebuild around Butler and Booker. Now, and we talked to Bobby Marks a week or two ago, and there was a way that he had laid out where you could get to the summer and rebuild around Booker and Durant and really kind of strip everything else down. You would have Booker, Durant, and Ryan Dunn, and he had a couple smaller trades where you could get under the aprons and have some flexibility too.
By the way, Jimmy, come on, show us what you got. You got how many games left? Half the year. Show us what you got. How about that? If you get him where he's marginalized to the degree in which I think Jimmy Butler is, he's making it very clear. There's one place I want to go. One place. How many other teams are going to be interested in acquiring a disgruntled Jimmy Butler?
It would have to be what you're saying, realistically, where I don't know that Butler's like a throw-in, but it's like half Butler, half pieces to rebuild.
But if you're James Jones, think about what you just said right there. I know Jimmy Butler wants to go to one place and one place only. I know that. What kind of leverage do you have, Pat Riley?
And the team that's in the most up against it right now is Miami.
What kind of leverage do you have? Because you've got zero.
if you're the Suns and tomorrow's deadline hits and you've traded Nurkic and a first-round pick for a player, I know like Gambo threw out Valanciunas, although he said that would be part of a bigger deal. But let's just say that was it. Let's say the trade deadline hits tomorrow and the Suns trade Nurkic and one of those first-rounders for Valanciunas. Let's just say it's that. They can still do stuff in the you could, if you're the Suns, you could come out of that and say, all right, well, let's see how this goes the rest of the season. We've got Durant, Booker, and Beal. This was supposed to be enough. Let's see how it goes. And if it doesn't, we can really start to make some big moves this offseason. But if you're Miami and you go through the trade deadline tomorrow and Butler's still on your team, you're just getting nothing for Jimmy Butler.
Nothing.
So they're the ones that really should be up against it right now.
No, they are, again. And it's because of that. It's the reason why I feel like if you've got a guy who's controlling this, by the way, it's one of the reasons why nobody knew about the Doncic deal. Nobody knew about the AD and Doncic deal except the guys who were making that deal.
Still can't believe that deal happened.
Nobody knew about it, and they didn't want to leak it. Why? Because Doncic could have had control as to where he wanted to go and said, no, I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if more trades are going to be like that in the future, where it's like if you're trading a big player, they don't know until the last second. Because if Miami, if you play that out, if Miami 3 months ago before Jimmy Butler was mad, just traded him to Memphis, he didn't have a no-trade clause. Nobody has a no-trade clause except Bradley Beal and LeBron. So, like, if I'm sure if Pat Riley knew where he would be right now, 3 months ago, he would have just traded Jimmy Butler, no notice or anything.
That trade is going to alter how business is done in the NBA for years to come.
Which means Gambo's never going to get to sleep because a trade could happen at a second's notice anytime now, forever. Coming up next, we're going to take you through the top stories of the day with Wolf and Down Your Lunch. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Bickley and Morano mornings.
Luka Doncic had never, ever verbalized any desire to be anywhere but Dallas. Certainly never said, I got to get to L.A. There's always the running joke about, hey, Giannis is going to end up there. Victor Wembanyama will end up in L.A. because that's where all the biggest